What's up everyone? Alex here. As a huge fan of martial arts films, I've always wanted a way to experience the lifestyle and indulge in the known tropes of these classics. Imagine my surprise when I found out that someone was developing a Chinese martial arts themed RPG that's got both real-time and turn-based combat. This game is called Wandering Sword, and a few of you have asked me if I knew about the game, or if I was even gonna talk about it. That day has finally come, my friends, and in this video, I'm gonna give you my impressions after several hours of playing. Stick around until the end to learn how you can play the exact same build that I played. But before anything else, I just want to give a quick shout out to the folks at SpiralUp for sponsoring this video and allowing me to play this build of the game. The footage that you're seeing right now was captured from my Steam Deck, and as of this time, there's no official controller configuration for it, meaning you'll have to use a mouse and keyboard to play this demo. I did manage to make it work via a controller on the Steam Deck, though I have no idea how to share the controller configuration I've devised, nor do I know if there's any equivalent on the PC Steam client. If anyone has any ideas on how I can share this, let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, you'll find text detailing how I configured my controller in the pinned comment below. Wandering Sword puts you in the role of a reluctant man caught in the middle of a bloody power struggle. Your close friends who were accompanying you as you're escorting a VIP have perished in the middle of battle, and while bordering on the verge of death for a whole month, you survive thanks to a mysterious martial arts master who's been treating you since. While in his care, you start learning about the struggles and challenges brought forth by this ensuing war, all the while being taught the ways of the wuxia, which is the only thing that's preventing a deadly poison from consuming you from within. Dialogue quality aside, I really like the story setup for Wandering Sword. It quickly established early tropes you come to love from martial arts films, and really immerses you in it. I say martial arts specifically because Kung Fu refers specifically to unarmed combat, and if you got more than just your hands to use in this game. I've also been told that the final game will have multiple endings, which makes sense given how the demo features multiple dialogue options that feel as though they affect something larger than just the way you go about solving people's problems. The story, tutorials, and gameplay will start spouting things about the use of chi, applying acupuncture onto specific meridian points, and utilizing cultivation techniques, read meditation, to balance yourself. This is all really cool and makes a lot of sense, especially when you take these concepts and apply them to their respective jrpg equivalents. When you finally get into battle after touching an enemy during exploration, meaning no random battles, Live Alive fans will immediately recognize the similarities between the aforementioned game and Wandering Sword. You have the option to play the game in real time or turn-based, but I primarily played the demo in its turn-based mode. In this mode, you'll be waiting for your chi to fully build up to take your turn. Think of this chi meter like you would the ATB meter in Final Fantasies, and you've got the right idea. Once you get your turn, you can move your character a certain number of spaces, then initiate an attack. The direction of these attacks will vary depending on what weapon you have equipped, with some even using MP. For instance, using fists, gloves, or the like will only let you hit one enemy at a time. If you've got a sword equipped, you'll be able to deal damage to foes in a straight line. If you equip a saber, you'll be able to damage foes above and below you. Have a polearm? That'll let you attack enemies surrounding you. And hidden weapons can be thrown at range, letting you stand at a distance from the thick of the action. I really appreciate that the type of weapon you have has an easy-to-understand set of attack patterns, especially coming off of Live Alive, where some of its attacks were made up of crazy crisscross patterns. Much like the aforementioned game, you can't use items during combat, which can be a challenge given that enemies can give you a ton of status effects. Thankfully, these status effects wear off after battle. I also noticed that the escape function doesn't seem to be working yet. It says that a party member needs to reach a specific escape zone to use it, though I didn't see it mentioned in the tutorial, nor see any obvious differences in color in the tiles that mark these zones. Maybe it's just my color blindness giving me problems again. Wandering Sword doesn't use a traditional leveling/experience point system, but it does reward you with martial points to use to upgrade your skills. Conversely, if you choose to upgrade your cultivation skill with these points, you'll also receive meridian points that you can use to apply pressure points on your body, improving several stats in key areas. It's certainly a strange way to build up stats, and it's a bit tough to tell early on if my acupuncture investments have had any huge effects on the main character's build in any way. One of the really cool things that you can do in Wandering Sword is that you're able to recruit townsfolk to become party members the higher your affinity with them. These townsfolk will also earn martial points, and you can also equip them with weapons and armor to use. To raise your affinity with them, you'll have to give them gifts. By clicking Observe, you can see what kinds of gifts each person likes over on the left-hand side, so raise that affinity. Apart from inviting them to join you on your journey, you can also ask to spar with them, though I'm not exactly sure how that benefits them in any way. I do need to warn you of a steep difficulty spike shortly after you leave the second town to the east, which is part of the main story. When you set foot in this hostile zone, you cannot back out despite your choices, and you're gonna be attacked. Wandering Sword does have an autosave function should you wish to utilize it, as well as a save and load anywhere function that I found extremely useful and beneficial. I'd caution you to save whenever possible, since this won't be the last difficulty spike you'll encounter in the demo. And I highly recommend exploring the entire overworld map because there are many other places you can go to before advancing the main story. Leaving gameplay mechanics and balance for a bit, I'm really impressed with how Wandering Sword was able to replicate the HD 2D look. It's incredibly well done, and each locale you visit just feels like it's teeming with life. You'll see leaves and grass sway in the wind, as well as fauna moving in the background. The HD 2D art style is definitely something that I'd love to see more games implement, and Wandering Sword utilizes it to an amazing effect. I also want to commend the music, which will help impress upon you that you're living in a martial arts fantasy. All in all, Wandering Sword definitely still needs a little bit of polish and controller support, of course, but I really enjoyed playing the demo. I found the parallels between Live Alive and Wandering Sword quite fascinating, and I appreciated what the latter is trying to do with similar technology. And remember that you can experience all of this for yourself by downloading the demo for free during this month's Steam Next Fest. Steam Next Fest officially begins Monday, February 6th at 12 p.m. Eastern Time and runs all the way to Monday the 13th at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, though the game will be available all the way up until February 28th because it's a pretty beefy demo. I have a link to the game's official Steam page where you can download it and add the game to your wishlist if you enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to reading your own thoughts, impressions of the demo, and reactions in the comments below. But until then, thank you very much for watching, everyone, and I'll see you in the next video.